Good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a massive day for Starfield. We got some stuff to talk about. So we will be talking about the reviews and reactions that have come out as the embargo has now lifted for people to actually talk about the game who actually got it early in advance. So on top of that, the early access has also gone live, which means now everyone who bought the premium edition of the game is able to play the game 5 days early in advance. I, unfortunately, am not one of those people, as I'm going to be waiting till next Wednesday on the 6th when it goes live for the whole world. If you've been enjoying everything that you've been seeing lately with regards to the game, be sure to drop this video a like and comment down below everything that you've seen so far as we get into this video. So let's go over those early reviews and reactions that have come out so far. Now, with regards to this game, this was a much more different situation than a lot of other games that I normally see, especially considering when we're talking about the fact that this is one of the more bigger drops for reviews and reactions that I've seen for a video game in quite a long time. And so Starfield is a game that I think went really heavy-handed on not just giving it to news outlets and so on for the reviews, but it also gave it to a big amount of certain content creators and streamers. As of right now, critically on Metacritic, which is the main source of video game reviews, the game has, as I'm typing this up, an 87% with 51 critic reviews. I imagine it's probably not going to stay there, considering there will probably be some more publications that have yet to release their review. But with that in mind though, I think 87 is a really solid score. When you compare this to older Bethesda games from the past, you have a game like Fallout 76, which is in its low 50s, Skyrim, which is varied around below 80 to a high 90, and then even a game like Fallout 4, which is actually resembling this score the most. That game sits around a mid to high 80 score. Again, for clarification, those are critical reviews, not user reviews, which even then, with user reviews, I'm not sure how much I can throw at Metacritic because Metacritic does not have a verification system. The only type of system that can verify if you played it on this website is the fact that they wait a certain amount of days before people can post the reviews. In the case of Starfield, they are not letting the embargo lift until 5 days from now, which is right around when the main release of the game is happening. I predict the score might be somewhat similar. I just hope that nobody review bombs it, no matter if it's review bombing it out of liking it or disliking it. I've seen enough games get review bombed in the past several years to where I'm just getting really annoyed by that, like very heavily. That's why I appreciate that a site like Rotten Tomatoes put in a verification system, even if sometimes I don't necessarily agree with reviews that come from either side on that website all the time. For the most part, in terms of a lot of the big name sites, they are giving the game 9s out of 10s, 10s out of 10s, 8.5s out of 10s, 4.5s out of 5s, and then you even have someone like IGN USA that gave it a 7 versus other regions of IGN which gave it a much higher score. I haven't read that full IGN review, but I've seen some snippets pulled from it that suggest that it's not really the best review in the world and it's completely opposite to what a lot of other people are saying. I don't really begin to question how IGN works for the reviews, but as far as I'm aware, this is just one dude's opinion, so it's not like the entirety of IGN thinks that the game is a 7 out of 10. I'm sure a lot of people inside of the company have probably played the game or will play the game and think it's way better than what this one guy is saying. So obviously that was one that is a big outlier for people to pick apart. With regards to other outlets, a lot of the main ones seem to be giving it a lot more positive reviews. So again, going back to Metacritic, it seems like this game is for the most part going to stick around that high range of a grade. I don't personally think it's going to dip below the 80s or even go into the 90s. I think it's probably going to stay right around that 80 range for the most part. Anything that I think to me that gets an 80 or higher is good to great. So of course, from the looks of it, it doesn't seem like anybody's calling this game a masterpiece, which is not a bad thing. I'm just glad that people are just saying it's good. Obviously, like most other games out there, you are also seeing a lot of content creators and YouTubers get their hands on it early with the game and have posted their gameplay right as the embargo lifted. You've got people like The Rad Brad, who is one of the primary playthrough and walkthrough gaming channels on YouTube. You have a guy like T Martin, who is always known to be doing his stuff with story games, and then you even have guys like a Stephen Ford, who is, I'm sure, someone who a lot of people know and don't know well on Twitter. He's a guy that used to be an actor, but turned into being his own creator of a lot of other different things. In particular, he's currently working on a Halo short in general, and he's just very known for being a guy who likes to talk a lot about entertainment on Twitter. So these are just some of the examples of people who managed to get all that early showcase for the game and play it. And I've seen some people go as far as to say that they've put like double-digit big hours into the game already, which is honestly kind of insane. It's crazy how far ahead these people are than everybody else. They've mentioned the fact that they've traveled to so many different planets that they've pretty much lost count of how many that they've gone to, and have just listed off so many other details to showcase that they've really put a lot of time in the game and know a lot about it. I've managed to get myself to watch a lot of the footage that has been showcased, and I'm not gonna lie, the game looks like it does run very smoothly, which I'm not surprised by, because a couple of weeks ago we did get a hint to the possibility that the game was actually tested very well by the QA testers. That in part would signify that the game would be running well, and so far I have yet to see anybody talk about this game having any bugs or issues with its speed and frame rate. I've seen some people post about the fact that it runs well on some of the more lesser consoles like the Xbox Series S, which just so happens to be the console that I own since I don't have a Series X. Overall, everything just seems so positive right now. We even got a message from Bethesda themselves saying how grateful they are that they have gotten to this point, and in this case, with how well the game is being received, I'm actually kind of inclined to really believe in this message and how much care that they've put into it. So, we all know about the big delay that this game got a couple of years ago and how there was a potential possibility that that could have tarnished the game. I'm honestly just really glad that they did delay it and they took more time to really fix everything that it seems like would have made the launch of this game what it is right now, at least from the early access part of the process. So again, I mentioned this in my video yesterday, but I don't really appreciate how there are a lot of people out there on Twitter who, from the looks of it, are PlayStation players who are trying to really bring down the vibe of everything happening right now. Even if they aren't necessarily PlayStation players precisely, I just wish people would just see the excitement that people are having for this game right now and just recognize that we are getting another great game for 2023. This year really has been a great year for video games. Obviously, we are still in a big, massive drought for AAA multiplayer and online video games, like first-person shooters, for example, but for the most part, everything else is doing very well. It doesn't matter if it's a single-player-driven game, indie game, or a multiplayer-based game that's not from a AAA studio. This year really has been a fun one, and to think that we are not even done yet. There are a lot more games still to come out, and so I'm excited for everyone who is a gamer right now. The last thing that I wanted to mention for this video is everything around the early access, and then what's going to be happening with me moving forward with Starfield. So obviously you guys know, who have seen my video yesterday, or if you are new here, I am not going to be partaking in early access. On top of the fact that I just wanted to save a little money and was hesitant to purchase at first, I've also got some stuff going on in real life that I'm trying to sort out. YouTube isn't the only thing that I'm doing right now with my time, and so I am unfortunately stuck in a position where I can only handle so much at once. I wish that YouTube could become a full-time job for me, where I'm not distracted by other things going on, but for me, YouTube is meant to be something to have fun with and just have the ability to make fun and cool videos for everyone and the community that I make. I'm not somebody who's chasing the money or anything like that. It's never really been about that for me. My goal is to only be passionate about the videos that I make. So with that being said, in terms of Starfield content, a lot of the videos that I am going to make are going to be a little bit different than what you might see other channels do. It's not just going to be from the same, topics that you see a lot of the time, to where, it's basically people putting out tips and tricks videos or stuff like that, quick in advance, like to be the first person out. As it is with me, skipping early access, a lot of other people out there are already going to be more up to date quicker than I am. And my goal is to focus more on just making community-based videos and just ones that are gonna be a little bit more different than what you usually see. So one of the big ideas that I want to do is make a weekly ship showcase type series. Basically, I'm going to go through a lot of different players and showcase what they've been creating. Again, to harp on the idea of community-based stuff. I've also been in contact with two people who I am definitely going to plan to try and make videos with, and hopefully us smaller content creators can kind of come together for a little bit more and collaborate with this game. I totally recognize that there is a good chance my channel would have been pushed out heavily by the algorithm, again considering just how small I actually am. As it is, the algorithm is very bipolar, so you never truly know what can happen. Some channels get pushed and some don't. Lately, I have recognized that some of my videos just haven't done as well as I hoped they would, and seeing that effect takes place is just, it's not the best feeling in the world, but again, it's the YouTube algorithm. I don't really know how much I can control with that. But as I said, it's all good, and I just want to be able to make great videos. So I hope you all understand this and are looking forward to more in the future. I'm going to end it off here for this video because for the most part, the gist of this video was just to mainly talk about everything that has come out with the reviews and reactions, and then also give my side of things for what I'm going to be wanting to do with this game moving forward. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop it a like and comment down below all your thoughts, and finally subscribe to this channel if you are new here and you're ready to start playing Starfield. I hope everyone here has a great rest of their day and a good start to their journey if you are on the early access train. I'll see you all soon for another video. This is Orion, signing out.